First item on the agenda is to approve the minutes of the January 6, 2015 regular meeting.
So moved. Second.
Motion is second. Any comments on the minutes? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Item 2 on the agenda is the drainage repairs. I won't be doing today. Item 3 on the agenda, approved hiring and employment of Hans Becker, Assistant County Attorney, at a salary of $54,000 effective January 14, 2015.
So moved, Mr. Chairman. I'll second.
Motion is second. Any comment on the matter?
Well, I'm requesting that the board approve the hiring of Hans Becker at the starting salary of $54,000, which is consistent with our office's pay scale as well as within our budget. His most significant experience is as a prosecuting intern in the Butte County Attorney's Office, so I feel confident with his level of experience. He has secured housing here in Fort Dodge and he's ready to start tomorrow with your approval. We did have 6 applicants this time around, 2 of whom we've already interviewed for our last position, and the rest had no prosecution experience at all. One hadn't even graduated from law school yet. So I'm confident that Mr. Becker will do a great job.
Any other questions? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Item 4 on the agenda is receive and place on file Webster County Compensation Board elected official salary recommendation for fiscal year 2015-2016.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion that we receive and place on file the compensation board's recommendations. Second.
Motion is second. Comment on that? State your name.
Dale Strickland, Chairman of the Webster County Compensation Board. The information I'm passing out is on the top. It's where Webster County's been rated for the last 4 years. We noticed, you can see last year that we improved in about half the offices. The bottom part is what if you were rated, right now the Webster County Supervisors are rated 21st. If they were rated 17th, it would have been paid $35.9. So just a little general information, you know, that the compensation board, Webster County is the 17th most populated county in Iowa, and the compensation board likes to stay someplace between 17 and 19, you know, with where we're rated. So, is there any questions? Or our recommendation is for supervisors to go to $36,050. The chairman go to $37,050. The sheriff go to $85,000. The auditor go to $63,860. The treasurer go to $63,860. The recorder go to $63,860, and the attorney go to $100,000. Is there any questions?
Any questions for him? I'd like to thank the compensation board for their work on that. Anybody else have any questions? Hearing none. All in favor of placing, receiving, placing on file?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Item 5 on the agenda is to approve appointment of Margot Knemble and Berna Tucker to Planning and Zoning Board. So moved.
Second.
Motion is second. Any comments on the appointments? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Item 6 on the agenda, approve appointment of Jane Burleson, Pat McLeod, and Nick Flaherty to the Webster County Magistrate Appointments Committee.
So moved, Mr. Chairman. Second.
Motion is second. Any comments on the appointments? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Item 7 on the agenda, approve appointment to the condemnation jury as follows. And there's a copy on file of the auditor's office. There's a whole bunch of people, so.
Mr. Chairman, I move approve the appointment of the condemnation jury. Second.
Motion is second. Any comment on that? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Item 8 on the agenda, Webster County Fair Board to discuss the fiscal year 2015-2016 funding.
Hi. I'm Carrie Anderson on the Webster County Fair Board. This is my 3rd year. I have Jeannie Anderson, which is not relative to me, and Brad Van Cooten with me from the board. Want to thank you for everything you've done for us this year. I think we've made a lot of good improvements. We're getting a lot of good feedback, and I think we're moving in the right direction. I have one sheet for you that you can look at later. We updated air conditioners. The air conditioners mostly were shot on that building after all these years, so we started improving on that every year and adding one. We replaced the old wood tables. We're starting to get into plastic ones because the tables are falling apart. Additional chairs. We purchased letters for the highway sign. We have a highway sign so that people can see the events, which is right out, in our field, and so that helps to promote the events out there. We got radio advertising to advertise our races, the fair, the flea markets, everything. So we've added a lot of networking there. We purchased a small refrigerator to use for the events with our bar. We replaced the furnace on the groundskeeper's house, and we purchased a flatbed truck. We purchased paint for all the 4-H'ers to come, and they came and helped do a lot of painting because a lot of the buildings have needed the repair. And we got new downspouts for the outdoor auditorium. And the biggest thing to me is we got a new website up and running. It's Webster County Fairgrounds IA.com. It's connected to our Facebook. The address is on this paper. And it has a calendar connected to it. So all of our events are out there on the calendar. It has an email also. We've gotten a lot of comments on it, and a lot of other counties that have been coming to our site and booking. For Southern Iowa, we just got a booking from Southern Iowa. So I think that it has done very good things for us. So basically, that's the majority of what we've been able to get done this year. Do you have any questions? Oh, and we're on a volunteer board because I know Mark's going to ask. We do not get paid. We spend a lot of time out there, but we do not get paid.
I really want to compliment you guys. There's the website. If anybody has the opportunity to go to it, they've done an amazing job of communicating the events, the activities. Your board has done an excellent job of having a campaign of what you're going to do next, capital projects. And if anybody had an opportunity to go to the fair this past year and see the improvements, it was
awesome.
It was incredible.
Yes.
So the website's outstanding, and you guys have made great strides.
Thank you. Thank you.
Do you link your website with, like, the Webster District Grill website, the Growth Marks' website? Do you guys link it with that, or?
I send all the messages out to them, and they know that they can get into our calendar. I do contact anytime we do anything. I'm the one that does I found someone to build the website. I worked with them, and anything we do, I am in contact with several people at the Messenger, Growth Alliance, all of that. And we've had a lot of other communities that have liked our Facebook page, so anytime we have anything now, they're putting it out on there. So we're really getting the word out there for our area here. And I'm really happy with the people that did the website. They worked very, very closely with me and put on there what we needed. And we do have a breakfast kickoff that's on the website right now. It's the 1st of February that we're having on a Sunday out there to start earning some money to be able to pay for the activities for this coming fair. So that's something new that we've added this year. Yeah. So, and if anybody has any ideas, be sure to contact any of the fair board. We're always open to ideas, and we're looking for new funding. A lot of the buildings out there really need repair. That arena building really needs repaired, and I think that if we can get it repaired and we can get it heated, enclosed and heated, we could rent it year round, because that's a drawback there. So, we have a lot of things that we still want to do.
Well, last year's discussion of how to utilize social media more, and we had a great meeting of just ideas. You guys definitely took it and ran, and I think you're reaping some excellent rewards there.
Thank you.
You have a seat on the CVB board too, I believe.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
You can continue using them.
Yes.
On that board.
Yes, yeah,
We need the community. There's money there to be had to bring. people in,
constant
so
communication is good with all of the different entities here in town.
Good source of money.
It is.
For conventions.
Helps with the advertising, and we bring in a lot of
Hotel rooms.
people from, like I said, we just had a group come in over the weekend from Southern Iowa. They have to eat, they have to have a hotel room. I mean, that brings in a lot of money to the town, and it helps us too. So.
Thank you for everything you done out there. Any other questions for her? Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Number 9 on the agenda is to receive and place on file county recorder's report of fees collected for the period ending December 31st, 2014.
Mr. Chairman, I move item number 9.
I'll second that.
Motion second. Christine, comment on that?
Good morning, everyone. Just a breakdown of that, we sent the county share of $47,630.18 for the period of October through December 31st, and $72,765.42 is what we sent to the state for that same period. I do have the breakdown of everything for the maps if necessary.
Shame you guys send all that money back. I didn't get very much of it.
I'm learning, but yes, that's a
Always
lot of
take-
money to be sent out.
Always take that opportunity, that most of your fees go back out, you don't have much to look at.
Looking through your packet there, you're storing some things in Missouri or Kansas. You want to explain that?
On the Owens King.
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought that was kind of interesting.
Yes, we have currently, Owens King is located in Hutchinson, Kansas. The underground vaults and storage, which is kept 650 feet underground. It is a temperature and humidity controlled to meet all existing ANSI and AIIM specifications for long-term storage. There's an annual inspection done. We can receive up to 3 retrievals annually at no charge. All of those documents are property of the Webster County Recorder. So the authorized personnel, which is why the contract is in place, to have me as authorized personnel, and then I First Deputy Shelley Hearn. And the breakdown of what we have there currently, it costs $271.35 annually. We have 116 of the 35mm microfilm storage for a roll, and then 9 of the microfilm storage boxes, jackets, and aperture cards. And this is an aperture card, which would be similar to what is being stored down in Kansas.
So how do you get that information back and forth?
This is more of a long-term storage. It's just a backup for us.
So everything you have in there is backed up in that 650-foot vault.
So essentially, you put things there that you don't think you're going to need access.
I would be glad to find that out for you. I don't know exactly how that whole process is working, but something I'm learning in this role.
Sounds like where we could send all the singers stuff.
Singer.
How about any stuff?
Actually, it's something that we probably should discuss at our department head meeting. Because also you keep the maps, the plats, the official, and those haven't been updated for,
Oh,
and drainage microfiche. The original microfiche record should be stored there and your copies used here, which is what she primarily does. The originals are kept there and copies are used.
Any other questions?
Thank you for that. That's kind of interesting. Any other questions for Lindsay? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Item 10 on the agenda is approve and authorize the sign contract between Owens King Company and Webster County Recorder for security storage for the county's microphone.
Mr. Chairman, I make the motion we approve the contract with Owens King Company.
Second.
Just a second, that's kind of just what we discussed. Any other comment on that? Hearing none, all in favor? Opposed, motion carries. Item 11 on the agenda is to adopt 2015 resolution in support of increased funding for our roads, highways, bridges through the state of Iowa's road use tax fund -RUTF.
Mr. Chairman, I move item 11.
Second?
Motion is second, any comment on that? I guess I can comment on it. It's just, we passed the same resolution last year. In a nutshell, it's saying that we realize that we have a problem funding our roads and bridges with the amount of tax that we're receiving. We're passing a resolution stating that, we can't keep up doing the roads with the money we collect, so we're suggesting we pass a 10-cent gas tax.
That is, and just, I don't know how many of you interview with Governor Moonbeam from California. And it was interesting that Governor Brown was in his fourth term. And he has taken the state from, basically insolvency to having a surplus. The way he did that was cutting spending and raising taxes where appropriate. So I guess it shows that, in order for things to work, you gotta pay for the things as you go. And that you gotta continue to fund and improve on those, with making these revenues a little bit positive.
You can probably say this, Randy, but the cost to do a road is 2.5 times what it was in 1989. Is that a fact?
Yeah, it's a substantial inflation factor, so I'm not sure the exact factor, it's just amazing how inflation has overcome the revenue, outgrown the revenue stream.
And we're not the only state or county that's looking at this. I was in Phoenix over the New Year's, and that was the #1 thing in the Phoenix paper that morning was they wanted to increase the road use tax by 10 cents to fix their roads. So everybody's kind of going in that direction. So we just hope the legislature looks at that this year. Any discussion on that? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Item 12 on the agenda is approve and authorize chair to sign a utility permit from CenturyLink to bore dual armored fiber optic communication cable electric under 170th Street, west of Sampson Avenue, between section 1 and 12, township 89 north, range 28 west, Cooper Township.
Mr. Chairman, I move item number 12.
Second. Motion is second. Any comments on that? Randy?
No, everything's in order, the original's right here. Again, you have the permit and the copy of the plat, that's just, most of the work is just outside the right of way along Sampson Avenue, C63, where they enter the road right of way is only 4 under 7th Street. So they're gonna be 6 foot deep.
So I was going to ask about the 6 foot. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. At this time is the citizens' opportunity to address the board with items not on the agenda. Anybody here today want to discuss?
Okay, Mark.
State your name, address.
Dennis Jones, I'm Coleman address, 2102 South 13. And we've been having problems with basically our sewer board, and we've been trying to replace them. And every time we get close, they change everything on it. And we just got some letters, and we wondered if you could explain what they actually mean. We got it from the county attorney.
Are you referring to the letter regarding who the actual members are?
Right. It states in there that such and such a code that they could either, the members are there till they decease or removed. And how do we, the citizens they want them out. We have no communication with them, and we can't get nothing done. We're trying to work with the landfill and everything else, with the problems we're having with them. I'm not very good at this, I'm telling you. We can't get anything done because every time we turn around and we do what we're told to do legally, then we get to the point and then we get shut down again.
Well, the letter that was sent out is what's stated in the Iowa code.
Well, but I got a copy of the Iowa code that you have here, and it basically doesn't say anything compared to that letter you got.
Well, it does, because that's the information I used to draft the letter.
Well, I can understand what you're saying, but like I say, I've talked with several members and stuff, and as far as the number of the code, are you sure you used the right code number, or there's one 358.9 that states more about what's going on than what this one does?
And I don't have any of those things in front of me right now. I apologize.
Well, like I say, we've been trying to work with them, and every time we turn around, we just get shut down. And how do we replace the board?
I don't know that you can because they're elected.
They weren't elected. They never were elected. They were appointed by the supervisors.
Okay.
As far as the community, we've had no say on what's going on with the ones that are there now. And we're just having so much problems that it's ridiculous, really.
My interpretation of the code is that they are appointed in their seats until a vacancy occurs. And that vacancy can only occur in the 3 ways set out in their letter.
Well, how do we remove them? Do they just remove themselves, or do we have a permission, the community have a permission to remove them?
I don't believe you have permission to remove them.
This is where our problem is. The other board codes that we've got, we followed all them. We did the meeting, we did the paperwork, we put it in the messenger. We had our community meeting, we appointed the new ones that we want in there, and we've done everything by what the code said, and we've been shut down.
But the code says that the current sitting board has to call the meeting.
We can't get them to do nothing. That's what our problem is. The community, they won't work with us.
You know, Mr. Jones, when we initially discussed this, I was mistaken in the information that I provided to you, which is why Jennifer cleared that up in that letter. And I say cleared it up, it's as clear as mud, but that's the statute that we've got to work with. It's not really the county attorney's position to advise private citizens, which is unfortunately at this time what you and Mr. Ely and the others are. If you were the current sitting board, township board, or sanitary board, arguably we could give you some advice based on Jennifer's interpretation of the code, and I agree with that. We just can't give advice to you in this situation.
You can't communicate with the citizens?
We can communicate, but it is not the county attorney's role to provide legal advice to private citizens. Otherwise, we would just be overwhelmed with, everybody treating us as their own private attorney. That said, there is a code section for removing private officials from office. But we can't just allow private citizens to pass around a petition, publish something in the paper and say, who you removed from office. There's a judicial process involved, and that's what you guys are going to have to follow.
Where do we find the process? Because we've done everything that we've been told by everybody that we've talked to.
Sure. There's a code section. I can't think of it off the top of my head, but there is a code section for removing public officials, and that's the code section we have to follow through the judicial process.
It's very confusing. Like I say, we've talked to several people. We've done what they've told us to do to get this far, and the community wants these guys out. They're not working with us. They're not working for us. So, I mean, that'd be like the President of the United States just saying, well, I'm going to stay another 20 years, and there ain't nothing you can do about it. So, what do we do?
Could you get that code section for them so we can go in that direction? I guess that's what.
I'd be glad to give you the code section, yeah.
358.9,
I don't think so.
385.9.
It's 33.
See, that's one we've been leading by.
Is that
That's one that they told us to go by.
Yes, ma'am. I'll give it to you right after.
Okay. All right. Because like I said, we're trying to work with the other problems we're having, and we can't do it if we ain't got a community. Thank you.
I have a quick, Jen, these are public, you're considering these people elected by officials?
I thought they were elected, and maybe I misunderstood that.
Because it sounds like
Or
that
were
might
they
be a
appointed the
question of
first
whether
time?
they were appointed the first time by
They were appointed by the community, or by the supervisor.
But that doesn't matter though.
You
The
you
codes-
know the history of those one of them being, I'm talking the Coleman water, Coleman sewer, and the confusion we've had in the past. But essentially, both of them have been originally elected, yes. And then vacancies have been approved. Remember in that code section 2, following an election, that actually you vote for 5, and the Board of Supervisors are the ones who pick out of that 5 the top 3 and make them the commission. So when you choose words and ask questions, you need to be careful with where you're going with it. Because originally, yes, they would have been originally elected, and yes, Dennis, they would have been appointed by the Board of Supervisors. And those terms set up, and they chose, of course, in this whole period of the last few years that we've been trying to get both of these boards in operation. We have to set their terms. And of course, that's something that goes back. How they follow in the future is dependent on how they keep their records. Which we don't have those records, they're not kept. Only when it's brought to the board and the board receives a place on file, a appointment that they have made.
For a little bit more clarification, I think when this initially started with the sanitary district, had they created bylaws that would set the terms, and we wouldn't be in this situation.
And how they would go forward.
Exactly.
And they were to do that in half.
And for your knowledge, and Mr. Jones, it's code section 66.
66.
Yeah.
A final thing about your sanitary board is annually they do adopt a budget. Following that letter, letting them know that they're still the active members of the board, they will probably have a public hearing to adopt their budget, which of course they publish in the paper. And you may want to attend that meeting and address them at that time.
So basically, we're stuck.
Well, no, there's a remedy.
Take advantage of that public meeting too.
Pardon me?
Because, take advantage of that public meeting, because that's why they publish notice, to let them know that they're going to meet and they're going to take action on the budget.
All right. Thank you.
Anything else? Anybody else? Susan, you have some more? Board of Supervisors Committee reports?
Yes, I'd like to take this time to encourage everyone to participate in this year's wellness programs, initiatives. The Wellness Committee has chosen several activities for us to participate in. There's a financial benefit as well as the overall true benefit, which is trying to improve our health and healthy lifestyle. So, to all county employees and to my fellow supervisors, I encourage everybody to do full participation this year so that we can continue to receive the discounts that we have earned, as well as the overall benefit of better living. And the cash card isn't too bad except for Chris. Why don't you give it to Chris and then, no? So anyway, that's my report.
We have a couple projects going on, as everybody knows, and want to give everybody an update on the second floor law enforcement center, courtroom remodeling. There's quite a bit of construction going on, so please excuse the mess as we're making progress, but there's a lot of activity. You're trying to find the offices, they're still in the same place, you just have to go through some different routes to get there. Landfill, we have our annual meeting coming up, and actually Dennis, you could probably tell us the new Leach 8 process is in place. And I think Dennis, you said you kind of went out there and looked at it and stuck your head in the manhole, and so far it's been very impressive.
Yes.
it's kind of crazy how good it is working, but we want to see what it's going to do with some warmer weather also. Appreciate your patience through this process and keeping us updated on it. But the annual meeting will be held at the Growth Alliance on the 24th, I believe.
27th, isn't it?
27th, thank you.
I just checked.
It's a public meeting. We hope people have any questions or inquiries do show up for that. And again, I want to compliment and thank the Fair Board for coming today. You guys have done an outstanding job and have made great progress in a short amount of time. So look forward to working with you.
Just I had Crime Stoppers last Friday. They're in their membership drive now, so if you belong to Crime Stoppers, if you're a business, they sure like your membership. The CBD board met, and they're doing very well. The hotels have been not as full as they were the last couple of years, but they do have financing to help projects. So if you have a project that's going to put people in hotels or event, it should use them. Going to the IDDA meeting in a couple weeks here. As you've noticed, Des Moines Waterworks is going to sue 2 counties for point source of nitrogen, and looks like that's a way bigger item than people realize. They're trying to claim that Farmers Tile and the county tile are point source things for nitrogen to get put in the river, and they want to regulate that through the DNR, and that would be a nightmare. So this is probably one of the biggest things that hits drainage in Webster County or any county is that lawsuit. So we'll be working on that, I'm sure, with the IDDA. So I guess that's it for committee reports. Motion to allow claims.